Hey guys, Delman here with another video for you guys on Star Citizen Megaships. This time we will be talking about the Anvil Crucible, or the repair ship of Star Citizen as of right now. So, voted by you guys, I read the comments below and of the last video, and as of the time of me reading them, I saw that there was more for the votes for the Anvil Crucible than any other ship, only by a small margin, but it's enough to swing it in its favor. So, this video is dedicated to the Anvil Crucible. Let's jump right in and see what it's about. Flying Toolbox. A so-called flying toolbox, the Crucible is Anvil Aerospace's first dedicated repair shop, featuring a rotating control bridge and detachable pressurized workspace. The Crucible is a versatile mobile garage equipped with repair arms and operations center and all the equipment needed to overhaul a damaged craft back into fighting shape. Whether you're restoring a crippled derelict or quickly getting a Hornet back into the fighting shape, the Crucible is your one-stop shop, featuring a series of remote manipulator arms for delicate repair work, clamshell doors that allow for both zero-G and pressurized repair work, and all of the tools with EVA equipment needed to get out there and make things go. Part 1. The Cab. The Crucible features a carefully designed repair-orientated bridge with multiple operation stations. A single captain can operate both flight and repair control systems by rotating the bridge. By facing forward, the ship can operate as a normal spacecraft. In reverse, the commander can look out over the repair bay and interact with the manipulator arms and other systems. A larger crew can divide these tasks for maximum efficiency. The Crucible's cab section includes storage, living quarters, and a dedicated EVA lockers, intended to allow multi-person crew to prepare to function in zero-G gravity, which will be necessary for larger repair and salvage operations. Part 2. The Workshop. Like the Endeavor or the Hull series, the Crucible is designed for future expansion. Included with the standard model is what we've dubbed the Scarab, a dedicated dry workshop designed to support pressurized repair of a single-seat fighter such as the Hornet or Gladiator. As an Anvil ship produced for the military, the Crucible is designed with these in mind. The internal arms will allow repair work to be conducted remotely, while direct access to the cab module, when attached, lets the crew get up close and personal with their charges. External clamshell doors can be opened in depressurized mode, allowing the crew to access repair to larger ships, making the Crucible capable of servicing everything from a Constellation to a Bengal. The Scarab can also be dropped in space and remain fully functional as a temporary station while the cab performs other duties. So basically, folks, the Crucible can detach the rear part where you would house a ship, the workshop or the garage, and leave it there as sort of like a station where other ships can dock with and get repairs in there as the main part of the ship goes out and does other missions. Just don't leave it there for too long because you might forget where you parked. Space is very big. Okay, so length 80 meters, beam 73 meters, height 16 meters, null cargo mass 625,500 kilograms. Cargo capacity 300 standard cargo units, though you wouldn't be using this for trading or else you would be mad. Main thrusters 4 to be determined, weapons 4 to be determined, remote turrets. So the Crucible is going to be quite an interesting vessel, and I am looking forward to seeing it in the verse. It's going to have many good positions in the verse, as in terms of organizations will need it, players who just want to go around as roving mechanics will need it, loads of people will need this in their fleet, and pirate organizations are going to need a lot of these, considering the fact that they will be outlaws in most stations and will not be able to receive the services otherwise. Right, so let's dive into more like how this ship will be used and what situations you might find yourself in if you own one of these things. So, to discover more about the Crucible, we have to look a little bit at its history and, figure out where it came from and its backstory, and the backstory to the company that manufactured it. So you can really flesh out the story and get an idea of where this vessel sits in the verse and things like that. So let's dive into its history a little bit here. History. Anvil Aerospace is one of the earliest Terran success stories. Founded in 2772, Anvil has been reliably delivering military-grade equipment to the UEE Navy for almost 2 centuries. The initial Anvil Skunkworks facility was located in Nova Kev, Terra, and the company's headquarters are still there. For the first 70-odd years of Anvil's existence, every design project was personally led by company founder J. Harris Arnold. Arnold, an eccentric spacecraft designer of the old school who insisted on signing off on every part of his design subsystems and was beloved figure of an otherwise cutthroat industry. Today, Anvil has factories on 3 dozen UEE core worlds, but continues to source all systems itself and requires all the standing CEO sign-off on every spacecraft alteration. The company's moniker comes from a quote from Robert Calvin's famous early justification for UEE expansion, explaining that military spending fuels the furnaces of expansion and strikes the anvils of innovation. There is little argument fueling the furnaces of exploration and expansion is exactly what Anvil has been doing since day one. The company has produced dozens of successful and iconic military spacecraft over the years, including the Hurricane, the Devastator, the Hornet, and the Gladiator. No military campaign in the last 2 centuries has been launched without Anvil spacecraft at the forefront. And no carrier in the UEE space today operates without at least a squadron of Anvil-designed fighters. In fact, Anvil designs have historically scored more space-to-space kills than any other military spacecraft. Hornets, in particular, have destroyed more enemy hardware, measured in star credits, than all other current Navy spacefighter designs combined. So that's a basic overview of the history of Anvil, so you can kind of get an idea where the inspiration came from for the Crucible. So in the lore, the Crucible is this repair vessel that is more than needed for the UEE and now the civilian market as well. It's a mechanic shop, it's, your part of your main fleet repair station. This would be hanging back with your other ships like Starfarers and things like the utility vessels that keep a fleet running. This is one of the very important ships of that line. Now, let's see circumstances you might find yourself in your, say, your Anvil Crucible. So, if you're a freelance mechanic and you have a small band of buddies that you go around repairing stuff with, you might find yourself in all different parts of space, going to various different groups of people. You might be contacted by pirates. They might say, hey, we'll cut you a deal and repair some of our ships and we'll give you some loot. But you gotta take into mind, you can never trust pirates, and they might just take your ship off of you and sell you off to the Banu. So always take that in mind. Or you might find yourself being hired out by a mercenary outfit that needs a couple of repair vessels to join their fleet, as they might have taken heavy losses in a recent campaign. So, you might find yourselves in many different situations, but one thing that will always be the same is people will need you. The Anvil Crucible is a very, very, very sought after ship when it comes to large fleets. A fleet is only as good as its, the backbone, the utility, the things that keep it running, like the Starfarers running fuel to the lead ships to keep the entire fleet moving forwards and things like that. The Crucible is very important in the sense of it repairs fighters and gets them back up to, and large ships. You might need a couple to repair, an Idris or a Javelin or things like this. Because we all know a Javelin and an Idris might be a bit of a nightmare to, get back to working order after a large fight. And it might not be an option to move it to dry dock because it might not be able to move under its own power. Well, this is where the Crucible comes in to repair said vessel. Even the Polaris is very reliant on vessels like the Crucible to come along and repair it. If its engines are destroyed and it can't move under its own power and, you need this ship back in the fight as soon as possible, it might be a problem if you don't have a Crucible. And that's where the Crucible will come in to maintain and repair these vessels and get them back on their feet right back into combat. Or repair them enough so they can limp home and get some more major repairs from a dry dock. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I can't believe it, 2,000 subscribers. I'm a little bit in shock here. I can't believe it's happened. But you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for coming here for your Star Citizen information, and I enjoy making this stuff for you because every single one of you guys here on the channel, all you subscribers and all the people in the org, everybody here that has supported me is It's really awesome, guys, and really, really important to me. Thank you. So, yeah, let's continue to make more videos and look forward to the future and 2.6 and 3.0 and all that awesome stuff and the road ahead in Star Citizen. And yeah, let's keep the train moving. Alright, folks. Thank you for watching. This has been another video. You know the drill, Commanders. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse. Oh, and one last thing before I forget. Remember to vote on the next ship in this series. Remember, you type in the name of the ship followed by the word next in capitals with brackets on either side of that. Please vote like that. It's a lot easier to read the votes that way from the normal comments. There is a fair few now. And yeah. We'll continue this up to episode 10, which will be the last one in this series. And then we'll be moving on to another video series. So get the ship that you want in there before it's too late. I might jump back and do another season of this, but I'm not sure just yet. But we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, I'll catch you all later. Take it easy, everyone.